I hope you had a great Independence Day and you're ready for the summer. Today, you're joining us for our 2025 Community Impact Series, where we talk about organizations that are making a monumental impact, not just in the local community, in the 757, but the entire Commonwealth of Virginia. Today, we have with us hometown hero and definitely an NBA All-Star, Brother Joe Smith, talking about his basketball academy in which he has here in the city. Once again, we want to thank you for joining us, as you always do on this Sunday morning, as we broadcast from the campus of the Norfolk State University, home of the Spartan Nation, from none other than WNSB Hot 91, the soul of VA. You know, we want to thank you for making us the number one talk show on Sunday morning on WNSB for 5 years. Stay of the water, as we bring movers, shakers, and policymakers to you to discuss issues important to the community. On behalf of myself and all of the staff here, we want to thank you for all that you do. Now, I mentioned the summer. I don't know about you, but it's been triple digits here in Hampton Roads, and we've had a heat wave across the South, the Midwest, and the East Coast. But we got a little rain this week, so hopefully you're staying cool. But remember, more heat's on the way. Make sure you stay healthy. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. But at the same time, make sure you're enjoying this summer vacation that you have here. As I mentioned before, on the show here on Stay of the Water, we have various series, and we're blessed to focus on a lot of politics, a lot of policy. God knows we got a lot of things happening in Washington and here in the Commonwealth, because as Virginia goes, so goes the rest of the country. But we also like to focus on organizations and communities that are making an impact in the most important asset that we have, and that's our kids. And today, this Sunday morning, we're blessed to have with us none other but a major force in the Hampton Roads area, hometown hero from Norfolk, and who made his mark in the NBA, none other than Brother Joe Smith. Joe Smith, how you doing this Sunday morning?
I'm doing awesome. How you doing on this Sunday morning?
Man, listen, I'm doing great. I want to thank you for joining us on the show. You know, I know that you've got a wealth of experiences playing basketball in the greatest league in the world. And of course, you're from this area and so forth, but you also got a basketball academy that you have and that you're doing. But before we get into that, I want to talk about, you know, what made Joe Smith. You know, you're from Norfolk, you're born and raised here. Talk a little bit about your background and what reared you and got you to the point where you're at now.
I mean, that's where it all started, right there where you just said it. Being from Norfolk, the support that I got from my family, my friends, the city, and just coming up as a young basketball player, you know, with a dream and a goal of, you know, making it to the NBA, you know, reaching that ultimate level. You know, I was protected from being out there and doing any type of nonsense in the streets. I have 6 brothers and sisters, so I'm the youngest of 7. So I came up with a lot of support, man, a lot of love, man, and that kind of guided me and carried me, created the type of character and showed me the work ethic that I needed to have in order to make it to that next level. And when I got out of, when I left Hampton Roads and went to the University of Maryland, man, I took all those lessons, all those life lessons with me to the college and to the next level, and that kind of allowed me to grow, be my own person, but at the same time have some morals and values to fall back on that I learned here in Norfolk, Virginia, from all the good support and all the good love and family that I was surrounded by.
Man, look, that's tremendous. You know, a lot of people think that when you look at personal television or reach the status that you reach, that you got there by yourself. But the truth of the matter is, as you said, it's a community. It's a whole effort from the family and everybody around you. You know, there's so many that don't have that and that unfortunately fall through the cracks. But you're blessed and fortunate. I was blessed and fortunate. So, you know, you're doing your thing to make sure everybody else at least has that opportunity or chance to make it as well. You know, Brother Smith, I remember you playing in college at the University of Maryland, where you played 2 seasons. And, of course, you were named AP NCAA All-American Team. And, of course, that following year, you came out as the number 1 draft pick going to Golden State. Tell us a little bit about that experience of reaching the height that everybody dreams. Everybody pick up a basketball that plays on, you know, AAU, middle school, high school, even college. dreams of that moment.
Right.
Tell us about that moment when your name was called.
I mean, it was one of the greatest moments, one of the greatest moments of my life. I mean, the thing, just going back on, my travels, and when I first got to the University of Maryland, I wasn't one of those players that was projected to be a top pick like that. I wasn't even an NBA prospect when I first got to the University of Maryland. And in 2 years from just putting in the work and, having a coach that believed in me, I was able to become the number one pick. So that in itself was something that really held a lot of weight and made me feel proud of where I came from and what I had to do to accomplish that goal. And then just hearing your name being called and walking across that stage, man, and seeing David Stern on the other side, who was the commissioner at the time, seeing him on the other side waiting to shake your hand and greet you and bring you into the NBA, man, have that moment. It was just a life-changing moment. It was a moment I'll never forget. And it's funny because just on the 28th of June was our 30th anniversary from when I got drafted in 1995. So,
wow.
Yeah, exactly. Time flies, but and I still relive that moment like it was yesterday.
Man, listen, like I said, I remember that roster Golden State when you came on board. And listen, that was one that 2, 3, 4 years y'all were there, man. That was one that really could have made the run. You know what I'm saying? Gave everybody a run for their money. you know, but you look at what Golden State.
Actually, my second year, we missed the playoffs. We lost to Sacramento the last game of the season, but we missed the playoffs by that one game. But we definitely had something brewing.
Oh, absolutely. Look, was Mitch Richmond playing for the Kings at that time?
He was. That's who hit the buzzer beater.
Hey, that brother was cold, man. That brother was cold.
Yeah, Mitch was cold. Man, Mitch was cold, man. He was cold-blooded. I used to watch him with the Warriors, man, before I even got there, and I admired his game even then. And just playing against him when he was in Sacramento and I was in Golden State. We had some classic battles, but he sent us home with that one.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you just didn't stop at Golden State, but, you made your way. You actually played quite a few seasons in the NBA. Making it is one thing, because we got a lot of not just first-round draft picks, but number one picks that don't make it as long as you did, right? So,
right.
So that time period, tell us about the focus and the support that you had to make it through the NBA, through the teams that you played for in all those years you were there.
I mean, it was the same. The support that I was getting when I was younger from my family, and it was the same. I mean, it was nothing like, man, it was such a joy to look up in the stands and see your family members in the stands cheering you on, and seeing that at the time when my mom was still alive, seeing her rooting me on and seeing that proud smile on her face, man, there's nothing like that support. And that carried me all the way through my NBA career. And just knowing that, I had family back here that was proud of me, people that in the city of Norfolk that was proud of me, because everywhere I went, it was all about representing my city, representing my people well. And so I took that everywhere I went, no matter which team I was on. I played for 12 different teams, 16 seasons. So whichever team I was on, I always carried that with me, man. And it did a lot for me. Because there was some tough times that you go through when you're a 16-year NBA career. You have some tough times where you need to lean on your family and lean on their type of advice, or lean on their love, or lean on their encouragement to kind of keep you going and keep you motivated to continue to want to go out there and do what you do. But and you really need that as an athlete, no matter what level you're at.
Absolutely. And not only that, but you lean on the family, but, you've also, and the support that you have, but you also got the fans as well, and those that welcome you back home, when everything is done, because ain't no place like home, right? No
place like home, no question. That's why I bought my basketball academy back here, and that's why I used to love in the summertime, man, just getting away from, all the thrills and excitement of being on the road and being around your teammates, or just getting back home and get back to just being the regular Joe, for the summertime, or for, however much time you get to spend at home. But that's why I used to always love to come back home here to Norfolk, Virginia in the summertime, man, and be able to hang around my family and just be regular Joe, and kind of let my shoulders down a little bit, relax a little.
Absolutely. Listen, and look, we're going to talk about the Basketball Academy in just a moment, but, in talking with you and looking up your stats and your history and so forth, looks like you and I got a lot in common. I'm in the middle of 7 myself. You come from 7.
Okay.
And then we both are celebrating our 50th birthday this month. I'm on the 25th. You're on the 26th. So,
yes, sir.
So look, happy birthday, brother Joe Smith.
My Leo brother.
That's right, baby. Absolutely. Well, look, it's Stay the Water. I'm your host, Eric LaVille, and you're joining us this morning for our Community Impact Series. Today, we have with us none other than a Norfolk hero native, but also a legend in the NBA, none other than Mr. Joe Smith, who played 16 seasons in the NBA for 12 different teams, the number 1 draft pick in 1995 after playing 2 seasons at the University of Maryland, where he was drafted by the Golden State Warriors and definitely made his impact in the NBA. And he's back here with his Joe Smith Basketball Academy. Joe, let's get into the academy. You mentioned earlier that coming back home to Norfolk, where you can let your hair down and just be Joe. You wanted to bring your academy here because of your experiences during the summers. Tell us about your experiences during the summer, that impact that led you to create the academy.
First of all, when I first got drafted, I had a foundation, Joe Smith Foundation for Underprivileged Kids. And I used to come back and do whole fundraising events in the area, bowling events, softball events, different type of events for the kids to help raise money for underprivileged kids in the area. Throughout my career, I kind of got away from it a little bit as things changed and logistics changed and things like that. I kind of got away from coming back and doing that as much here in the summertime. So when I retired, that was a goal of mine, to be able to come back here and start doing things for our youth and in our communities once again. And so I started the Joe Smith Academy. I retired with the Lakers. That was the last team that I played for. So I spent a few years out in L.A. I started the Joe Smith Academy out there. I moved down to Atlanta and kept it going down in Atlanta for a few years. But it still wasn't feeling right. So I wanted to get it back here, get back home to where I know I can really be effective, because these are the same communities that I came up in. These are the same communities that helped raise me. So now a lot of these youngsters, I know their parents, I know where they came from. They know me personally. So I felt that it was only right for me to be able to come back here and embrace the kids here in the Hampton Roads area. And also, we have a lot of talent in our area that really doesn't get the type of notoriety that they should receive. So I'm also here to help bring that type of aspect as well. Show people outside the Hampton Roads area what type of talent that we do have here, that's come from here, that's made it from here, and to give these kids something positive to look forward to.
Absolutely. Now, you've got a couple of camps coming up starting, I believe, this week and also the week after.
Yes, starting tomorrow. Tomorrow, July 7th through 11th is the first week, and that's for ages 8 through 12. And then the second week is July 21st through 25th, and that's for ages 13 through 18. And that's at the Virginia Beach Sports Center.
So right now, there's a basketball camp that Joe Smith Basketball Academy is having starting tomorrow, July 7th, that lasts all the way through the 11th, ages 8 through 12. And then on the 21st through the 25th, boys and girls, by the way, 13 through 18. Absolutely. At Virginia Beach?
Virginia Beach Sports Center.
Virginia Beach Sports Center, and you can find this event, and you can log on and you can sign up for it if you simply go to joesmithbasketballacademy.com. You can click on the events and click there, or you can go straight to Eventbrite. Eventbrite, look it up, Joe Smith Basketball Academy, and it'll be right there. Sign up for the week that you want to participate and your age group, and come on out. Once again, two sessions of Basketball Academy for Joe Smith Basketball Academy right now. The camps starts tomorrow, ages 8 through 12 for boys and girls, July 7th through 11th, and also on the 21st through the 25th, My birthday, by the way, 25th, just holler. And
I knew that last day was special for some reason.
absolutely, absolutely. And then ages 13 through 18, boys and girls from 10 to 4 at Virginia Beach Sports Center, Sportsplex. Make sure you take a look at Eventbrite, put in Joe Smith Basketball Academy, or simply go to his website, joesmithbasketballacademy.com, and you can click on events and find it. Brother Smith, tell us what students, that age groups, boys and girls, are going to be in store for that entire week.
What I've noticed, watching the game of basketball and, watching the youth, we've gotten away from the fundamentals of the game of basketball. A lot of these kids, they think they can just skip steps and skip certain processes of development, but you have to. There's a process to it that you have to stick to it. So my thing is, I'm taking it back to the fundamentals of the game, from your footwork to your ball handling, to your shooting, to different types of shots. Actually, shooting off the dribble, shooting off the catch, shooting off the move. Ball handling drills from crossovers to between the legs, behind the back. We're taking it back to all that, and also the footwork that goes along with it. A lot of people want to just think they just come out and do a crossover and think it's supposed to work, but there's a certain footwork, there's certain steps, there's certain things that you have to do, shoulder movements that you have to put into it in order to make the defense to react. So we're taking it all the way back, man. We want to show the youth the right way to play the game of basketball and let them have fun with it as well. At the end of the day, that's what it's all about, having fun with it. But we want to have fun with it, but at the same time, we want to teach these kids the right way to play the game of basketball that they're not learning on a daily basis.
Well, look, you brought it up, so I want to delve into it. There's always the debate about the NBA today and the NBA
right.
when you play. Right now, everybody's shooting the deep ball. I mean, whether it's the three-point line or even almost close to half court. 2 dribbles over half court. WNBA, Caitlin Clark's lighting it up. Of course, Steph Curry at Golden State's lighting it up, and everybody's dropping the 3-bomb. But what's missing is that mid-range game and the down low and dumping it down low. If you're 6'10", you shooting threes as opposed to banging down low. What is your assessment of the game today and how kids learn it in the game when you were playing?
I was about to comment on it. Don't just limit it to the NBA game as far as shooting threes. It's all the way down to the youth. Now, that's all they want to do is come in the gym and shoot threes, and where my academy comes in, because that's going back to the fundamentals. Part of the fundamentals is the mid-range game, and you can't. And I feel like that's a part of the game that's been missing these past few years, and a lot of people have gotten away from it, except for Shai Gilgeous.
That boy smooth, ain't it?
Oklahoma City, he's the only one that's really using it and using it well, but it takes away from the creativity of the game as well. I mean, you have to be creative with your with how to create space out there in order to get those mid-range shots. So for a lot of those guys, it's easier for them just to pull up the three-point shot. So I want to be able to show these kids how to create that space, and when they're inside the three-point line, and create that space for that 15-foot shot, 16-foot shot, 12-foot shot, things like that, other than getting it into the paint and trying to find the three-point shooter, how to finish in the paint, finish around the basket, and do things like that. So right now, everything is, like you say, evolved around how many shots you can get up around the arc. So when teams penetrate, when guards penetrate, they're not even looking to score. They're basically looking to kick the ball out to another three-point shooter. So I want to be able to eliminate some of that and show these kids that there's other ways that you can get buckets and other ways that you can be effective.
When you mention that, I've never seen a 7-footer that goes for a layup or just pop out to the three-point line. You know what I mean?
Not no more.
I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, look, if you're 7 feet, you ought to be down low. And I wonder,
right.
in this league, could a Wilt Chamberlain still be effective? The way that the league is shaped now. Could a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar still be effective? Could a Joe Smith still be effective the way that the game is now? Do you think it's more so? Well, who's changing the game like that? I mean, who's influencing hey, just shoot the ball and we'll take the numbers as they come, as opposed to developing those skills?
I mean, the game throughout my career was changing. They wanted, like when I first got drafted in '95, the game was real physical. The scores was 89, 90. You know, that barely no one barely getting 100 points at that time because they was so defensive minded and so physical that it was tough to score. So the NBA throughout my career, we're looking for different ways to open the scoring up. So they took out a lot of the physicality. They opened the floor up a lot more. And then you just started then all of a sudden you got a guy like Steph Curry that came along and became one of the best three-point shooters ever in the world. So that made offenses around the league, and they was winning titles. So that made offenses around the NBA shift their thinking now. Now they think they got to get up more three-point shots, and that's how it's a copycat league. So that's how the evolution of the game just started changing. When one team is winning by shooting a lot of threes, obviously everybody else sort of got to keep up. So now they're going to start shooting more threes.
Right. And listen, when you start winning rings, that makes all the difference, right?
You change things.
Look, it's like, hey, okay, we shooting threes too.
Yeah, we got to get some shooters around here too. We got to find some. Yeah. So and basically, I mean, and the thing about it is, even though they were winning titles by getting up a lot of threes, they still had an inside presence, inside defender, big that was inside that could guard the paint, finish around the basket. So that's something that went away after that, but they still had that, at least on those championship teams.
Once again, you're listening to the legend, Virginia Hall of Fame inductee Joe Smith, speaking about his basketball academy that he has started here in his home area out of the city of Norfolk. This summer, starting tomorrow, you have an opportunity to take advantage of these skills from this 16-year NBA veteran who was the #1 draft pick in 1985 with the Golden State Warriors. The camp starts tomorrow, July 7th through the 11th. Boys and girls age 8 through 12, and the 21st through the 25th, boys and girls ages 13 through 18. And it's going to be held at none other than in Virginia Beach at the Sports Center. Joe, not only do you have these camps, but you also have various classes that you offer in these different skills. Tell us about the classes that you offer and what students can learn in these classes, like ball handling, shooting, and half-court passing and drills and the like.
Yeah, other than the camps, I do personal training. So I do individual skills development, and it's more hands-on than with the camp. The camp is more spread out because I have more kids, so I'm not able to give them the private attention or the individual attention that I can during the private sessions. Private sessions I usually do from no more than 5 kids. I do 1 to 5 kids, and we go through drills. We go through all types of basketball drills from, like I say, from the camp, from your footwork to your shooting to your post work to creating space to get your shot off of the mid-range, to mid-range shots, to finishing at the basket, till we advance out to the three-point shot. And because, you do have to have a three-point shot nowadays, but that's not our main focus. Our main focus is to develop the game and show these kids there's different ways to be effective out there on the court with that ball in your hand other than to be launching up a three-point shot.
Absolutely. Again, if you're interested in learning the skills, the way that the game was developed, the way that the game was meant to be played, Brother Joe Smith has ball handling fundamental drills, shooting fundamentals, passing, half-court passing drills, full court drills, team shooting, defense, low post drills, pick and screen drills, and also one-on-one training. Joe, it seems like you don't just offer this for individuals, but you also offer it for teams. Tell us a little bit about the difference between the individual and the team sessions that you have.
With the team session is more, I try to feed off more on what the teams are, what their coaches are trying to teach them, on their system. So for instance, if I come into a high school program and their coaches, they run, let's say 4 high, where you got 2 bigs at the elbow and you got the point guard bringing it up the middle, and you got 2 wings, 2 guys on the wing. I know exactly what type of drills to run with that team, because I know what type of actions that they want out of that set. When they do no matter what type of what they call out of that set, I know what type of action is about to occur, so I can run drills and sets around defensively, what type of defensive schemes that they have. I can kind of help them, even help the coaches, but help them better understand it through my knowledge and my experiences as far as playing those type of defenses, as far as what type of position they need to be in order to be in help defense, what type of position they need to be in when they're guarding a guy, knowing your opponent's strengths and weaknesses, if you're a right-handed guy, if you're a left-handed guy, just different things like that. I can come in and help the kids understand better and help them kind of understand what the end results that you're looking for as a coach, and with the drills and stuff that I'm able to come in and help with them.
Absolutely, absolutely. And if you're interested in becoming a part or getting this particular one-on-one or team training, just simply go to joesmithbasketballacademy.com. That's joesmithbasketballacademy.com. Click on it and click on classes and join the class that you want, and also get your one-on-one consultation training as well. But once again, Joe Smith Basketball Academy is here in the city of Norfolk, making an impact, and in the region as well, where he's bringing his knowledge from 16 years of playing in the NBA, from being the #1 draft pick in the NBA to Golden State Warriors in 1985, his collegiate career at the University of Maryland, where he was named to the All-NCAA All-American team, back home to his home, where he's bringing the game the way that it should be played and giving his knowledge and skills to the next generation. Because here at the Joe Smith Basketball Academy, they're passionate about helping individuals improve their basketball skills, from top-notch training programs designed to enhance physical fitness, technical abilities, so that players can excel on the court and, even more importantly, off the court as well. So once again, if you want to be a part of this, if you want to take advantage of the skills, the years, and the knowledge, just simply go to Eventbrite and look up Joe Smith Basketball Academy, or simply go to joesmithbasketballacademy.com. Click on camp and then join Joe Smith for this, starting this week, July 7th through the 11th. And also the 21st through the 25th, where he will be hosting his summer basketball camp at the Virginia Beach Sports Center. Brother Smith, again, it was a pleasure having you on the show. I'm going to give you the last word as we end, but this won't be the last time we have you. We're going to bring you back next summer as well and talk about the great things that you're doing.
Awesome. I just want to actually just give a shout out and a big thanks to the city of Virginia Beach. Councilman Green, he's been a real support system back in the Joe Smith Academy. And when I first came back to the area, he was one of the guys that really showed that he was really about the community and really about having something positive for the community. So I just want to give a shout out to those guys and show them let them know that I really appreciate what they're doing. And for everybody, man, if you're looking for a camp for your son or your daughter, talk about July, starting tomorrow, July 7th to 11th. Ages 8 through 12, and July 21st through July 25th, ages 13 through 18. Please come out and join us. We're looking to have a good turnout, have some fun, man, but we're learn the game of basketball, and why not learn from somebody that's been there and reach the levels that their son or daughter may want to be dreaming about. So I look forward to seeing you guys.
Absolutely. And again, we thank you for joining us, as you always do on this Sunday morning, as we bring movers, shakers, and policymakers to you to discuss issues important to the community. Thank you for joining us for our 2025 Community Impact Series. Until next time, be good, be well, be safe, and we'll see you next week.
Hi, I'm Carrie Washington, and you're listening to State of the Water with award-winning host Dr. Eric Clavel.